Alright, welcome everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing adult checks, specifically focused on the low income and of course, fixed income beneficiaries, including, but not limited to, Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, and RRB. That's the focus of this video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. Alright, now this is a question that I do receive down below in the comment section from many of you here in the community, as well as a big question that I do see out there in the headlines quite a bit as well, and we want answers on this. I agree, we want answers and we need clarification as far as what is going on. Now, all of this is based on a prominent piece of legislation lawmakers recently worked on, and again, that is also putting money into the pockets of millions upon millions of households out there, and it's now our turn, as in adults, people who may not have been eligible for that legislation the lawmakers recently worked on. What is going on for adults now? Well, again, great question, and again, what many of you here in the community want to know about, and what I want to know about as well. I want answers just as much as you do. Well, I want to give you some clarifications, some updates, and where we currently stand on this, as well as doing whatever I possibly can to clarify the situation, because this is certainly something we need to focus on based on the current situation and what has been going on the last couple of years with rapidly rising prices and basically them doing nothing, absolutely nothing to help people out right now financially, even though this inflation has basically eroded the purchasing power of benefits and fixed income beneficiaries. And again, it's a rough time out there, right? So anyway, let's get into it and talk through those details. However, really fast before we do, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. If you have not done so yet, again, make sure to do yourself a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button right down below the video. It's totally free to do so. I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all the details, hitting the wire, doing the research so you don't need to, breaking it all down, answering your questions, advocating on your behalf, and doing whatever I possibly can to be here for you every single day. I have been every day for years. If you don't believe me, go back and check my track record. Thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. I promise you, you cannot do that in a day, you can't do that in a week, and you cannot do that in a month. I promise. It's taken me years to get this many videos here on the channel, okay? I've been here every single day, no matter what, rain or shine, whether I feel good or not, whatever the situation is, no matter what, I make time in my day to be here for you every single day. So again, thanks for joining me. Truly do appreciate it. Please subscribe down below. We need to stick together right now. It's a rough time out there. I think we all agree with that. So, all right, thank you so much. Let's talk through the details. All right, so adult checks. Here's the situation, okay? Now, again, stick with me on this for a second, because the legislation I'm talking about, I know a lot of you here in this community may not be eligible for it. I'm just as frustrated as you are, okay? It's the piece of legislation expanding the child tax credit payments, okay? Now, again, when I say those words, you're probably thinking, oh, yeah, I remember that one. They didn't do anything for us. You're right. For the most part, they didn't do much for the low income or fixed income beneficiaries of all the benefits I mentioned at the beginning of the video. You're 100% right, unless you have dependent kids under the age of 17, which is mostly not the case for a lot of people. And again, it's not everybody, but if you are somebody who does have kids under the age of 17, and you're somebody who falls into the income thresholds of this, well then awesome. This is going to help you out substantially. But if you're not, and maybe you're, a fixed income beneficiary, or maybe you don't have kids, or your kids are, 30, 35, 40, whatever it happens to be, and they're above the age of 17, where you may not be eligible for this. Now what? What about adult checks? Are they going to do something for us, right? Again, great questions. Now, I've been talking about this for a few months now. In fact, they originally introduced this legislation way back in the beginning of January, okay? So, yeah, it's been quite a while now, okay? So this has been around for quite a while. But the point is, I've been saying this for a while now. As we saw this this legislation introduced, I came back. I was actually out in a couple live streams talking about it. I said, just get ready. When they pass this through, when this becomes the official deal, when all of this kind of passes by, we're going to see a number of people coming out suggesting, okay, you did something for families, you did something for kids. What about seniors? What about older adults? What about people with disabilities? What about lower income people who may not have kids? What about people that are have a lower income and maybe have kids that are not eligible anymore because the kids are above the age threshold? What about all of these people? Are there going to be adult checks? What about something like this, right? We saw the same situation happen back in 2021 when they passed the advanced child tax credit payments, sending out ongoing monthly checks for about 38 to 39 million households, getting an average of $422 a month back a couple years ago. Remember that? I talked about it many, many times, okay? Same situation here. So here's what's happening. We here in this community, many of you here in the community asking down below in the comment section, as well as me digging into research, and I've been seeing this out there in the headlines as well, talking about, okay, now what about for adults? Adults. What about for adults now? Are we going to be doing something here, okay? So that's the big question that's still out there is, are we going to be doing something here, okay? As of right now, again, I want to be completely transparent and give you the details about this. As of right now, they have not passed some type of adult payment like this as well. However, there has been talk about implementing some type of advanced feature on different tax credits that are available. Now, let me explain really quickly, which, by the way, let me preface this by saying this is not tax advice. This is not accounting advice. This is not advice in any way, shape, or form. I don't know your situation. Everybody's situation is different. However, there are some tax credits out there that are available to lower income people. For example, the EITC, Earned Income Tax Credit, okay? Now, this is a tax credit for some people who are lower income, who have a little bit of earned income and generally can take advantage of this. Now, in most situations, you may need to have kids to take advantage of this, and you can get thousands upon thousands of dollars. However, you may not need kids to take advantage of this, okay? So again, it's different for everybody. I don't know your situation, so just because it's available does not mean you can take it, automatically. But there's been talk saying, hey, what if we implemented the EITC as an advanced feature? If somebody is eligible for it, why don't we just allow them to take this in monthly stipend, basically monthly checks, just like we saw with the child tax credit payment a couple years ago, the advanced payments. So that is one option that is being available, is rather than a one-time lump sum credit that somebody gets, at the beginning of the year when they go to file their tax return, why don't we offer this as maybe advanced checks on an ongoing monthly basis as well? Okay, so that's something that's being talked about. Now, will it be implemented? I don't know. I have no idea if they're going to implement that or not. But this is an option that's being discussed. Now, there's been other talk out there as well discussing, why don't we implement some type of ongoing adult monthly check, something like this, for those adults who may not have kids or who have kids that are, grown and above the age range of what is actually eligible for the expanded child tax credit payments as well. Now, something like this would be basically honing it down to a very low income adult, somebody like this who's living on a small low income or a fixed income and who may not be eligible for any of this and who typically does not file a tax return as well, okay? Remember this as well. A lot of people who are low income or fixed income living on Social Security or SSDI, retirement benefits, a lot of times do not file a tax return. Why? Because income is low enough that you don't need to, right? That's not for everybody, but there's a huge percentage of people that don't file because they don't need to. Their benefits are low enough and their income is low enough. So there's this discussion of, hey, why don't we isolate these people? Again, it'd be, 30, 40, 50 million people, whatever it happens to be, who'd be isolated in this category and say, hey, why don't we implement some type of advanced tax credit as well? So it's basically very similar to like a stimulus check, like what we got a couple years ago, but rather they would be calling it something else, like an adult tax credit check, and it'd be implemented on an advanced feature. So again, there's a lot of different options out there. Just like think of it this way. How many times have you heard me talk about, 1,000 different pieces of legislation that are out there or ideas or concepts to reform Social Security? It's kind of the same situation here. There's many different ideas and approaches floating around. Just because they're talking about it does not necessarily mean anything's going to actually happen, but this is what's being discussed, is what are the options that we have at our disposal, and what is the availability of all these different options. So this is where we're at right now. Now, again, I want to reiterate really quickly here. Nothing has been passed as of right now, but there is discussion of, hey, we've done something for the families, we've done something for the kids. Why are we leaving adults? Why are we leaving seniors? Why are we leaving people with disabilities, out of this? Why are we leaving all these people high and dry when we have taken care of everybody else? Again, good question. We want to know answers to that as well. What about the adults, okay? So again, we heard about this a couple years ago, and I've been saying for a while now, many times for over the last couple months here, I've been saying, get ready. When we get this passed through for the child tax credit expansion, we're likely going to see something coming out for people suggesting we need something for adults now. And I totally agree. Does every adult need a check? No, absolutely not. Do lower income adults who have no other income other than their Social Security or their fixed income benefit need additional checks? Probably, because look at the depletion of the purchasing power of your money over the last couple of years here. Has it gone down? Yes, absolutely. Inflation has eroded your purchasing power. You can get virtually nothing for your money anymore. That's the problem, right? So if we isolated something like this for just the lowest income adults on an ongoing monthly basis, this would be very, very helpful. And again, why this is a discussion. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now. Of course, as I get more information, I'll continue to bring it to your attention. But for those of you that have been asking and wondering what's going on here, this is where we're at. Not much yet, but again, if they just wanted to do something, they could get it done relatively quickly. I'll keep you posted. Again, I'm here for you no matter what. I want to bring you as much detail as I can. And again, I want to help you get as much money or take advantage of programs that are out there. I want to help you get as much as I can. So as I get more details, of course, I'll bring it to your attention immediately in videos like this. So again, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends on my social media and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those down below in the description, the ones I've hand selected for you there, as well as the top of the comment section or the ones that you see on your screen now. Enjoy, take care, watch those videos, and I'll catch you again later.